Hello and welcome everyone. This is my first video on this channel. I'm having a wonderful morning already so far. Can you tell? It's a little sarcasm there. So what I want to do with this channel, I'm going to do a quick intro. I am basically doing a vlog type thing. So most days, maybe not all days, but most days I'm trying to film kind of my process of what I'm doing as far as my business and have kind of more behind the scenes stuff on this channel. Vlog type stuff, like I said. Now I do have a regular main channel that this is branched off of that's called Shrush Design. I will link that down in the description and in the pinned comment and on the cards and stuff. You'll find it if you're interested. But anyway, I've had that channel since about 3 years ago actually. And what I do is I'm a lettering artist. So I do all kinds of things. I do like lots of signs, window painting, which is what I'm going to start on today. You're going to see part of that today. Murals when I get a chance, and all kinds of other stuff based on lettering. I dabble in illustration as well. I don't really consider myself to be that kind of artist. I'm more of a lettering artist, but I'm getting better at certain things. In fact, the window I'm doing this year, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me because it's going to be kind of human being or human being-like creatures that I'm not usually good at drawing. So we're going to see how that goes. Going how today's already going, I'm not sure. I'm not going to be doing the humans today anyway. They're the human-like forms today. Anyway, I was going to try to do them today, but then things have happened and I'll get to that in a minute. But not going to be doing that part today. That's going to be a different day. But I consider myself a lettering artist is what I'm trying to say, period. But I do dabble in other things and I'm getting better at those things as well. So, you know, it's been 3 years on YouTube and a little bit before that. But anyway, that's what I do. This channel, like I said, is going to be kind of vlog style. I'm going to be filming most days, not every day, like I said. And I will give the date that I'm filming at the top of the video, and I'm not going to release them daily either. It's going to be, well, we'll see how things go. Maybe later on I'll start doing daily, but right now I'm planning on doing 3 days a week, so Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Today is a Friday, and I'm filming for Saturday. It's going to be this, you're watching this on Saturday if you're watching it when it came out, otherwise, you know, later on. But anyway, so I'll film, you know, I'm going to try to keep them kind of themed. So today is the beginning of my window painting and my intro. And in order to get this video out, I'm very sure I'm not going to finish my window today. So if I did though, it would be the whole Halloween window as a theme. But this is kind of the beginning of that. The next video, I think, will be related to the rest of the window as well. And then there might be some other stuff thrown in. But so as I film, like there may be things that I film on, for instance, today, even though I'm probably not doing anything else today. If I wanted to do something later and film that's related to something else, that might end up on a different video. So I'm going to say like the day I'm filming, whenever I start filming that day or whatever. So based on different topics. So anyway, that's how I plan on this going. Also, I am from the southeastern Wisconsin area of the United States. That's where my business is located. I'm doing this for both my local and, you know, other people. You're welcome to follow me even if you're not in this area. I'm doing it mainly though for my local people so they can kind of see what I do. And they have something to follow more that's more local based. But it's also could be useful. Could be, I'm not guaranteeing anything, could be useful for people that aren't in my area. But anyway, so I do have my main channel, so you're going to see a lot of behind the scenes for stuff that I film for that. Like this, the Halloween window is going to be one of them. But anyway, let me show you a few examples of stuff that I've done so you can give you kind of an idea. I have been lately doing vendor events locally, and I have a few more coming up the rest of the year. My next one's not until November 1st, so I got a few weeks for that one. And it's going to be an indoor. The rest of them are smaller and indoor. I've been doing a lot of outdoor events that are kind of big and have taken up a lot of my time. And I'll talk about those probably at some point on the channel. But I do have a series I was doing on my main channel related to those as well. But anyway, I can show you kind of some pictures from, so here's a recent one I did on the indoor, a bigger indoor event. And then also, I didn't mention this, but you're gonna see me doing a lot of this where I show you pictures on my iPad, because I don't plan on like adding anything during my editing. It's just gonna be kind of cutting out dead air, which I have a lot of that. And if I ever stutter, you know, I do that too while I'm filming, especially when I have someone in the house with me, which I do now. But I do it when he's not here too. But anyway, here's a few other events that I've done. That was one of the events. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing lately. It's the main thing I've been doing. A couple months ago, I did a wedding, stuff for my cousin's wedding, which was actually what I started basing this business on, was doing wedding signage, but that didn't really take off. So we'll see how that goes, because a lot of people think they can do their own signs and then they get discouraged and they're like, I should have hired you, you know, but it's too late. So I have to convince people ahead of time. Here's a few things I did for the wedding. It's a rehearsal dinner sign, a selfie mirror, signature drink sign, and then this is a video I did. I don't know if it's gonna let me play it though. I did the coasters as favors for people. So that's something I did recently. But again, I'm a lettering artist, so that's the kind of stuff I do. As far as since I'm gonna be doing this today, talk about the Halloween windows and other windows I've done. Let me get to that. I had it earlier, but then I changed. Okay, so when I started my main channel, that was, again, like the end of September 2022. This window that I did was the first one I've done. Why is that there? Okay. This window here is the first one that I did. This was actually Halloween 2021. It's the first attempt I ever made at doing a window. As you can see, it, you know, if you can't tell, it looks very beginner. You know, I did a lot of mistakes when I did this, but it was my first time and I really didn't know what I was doing. So I've learned along the way, and I talk about that. I did upload a video of this actually, because I filmed the process as if I was making a YouTube video for it, and then I wasn't planning on releasing that as a video. It was kind of practice for me, but I ended up releasing it when I opened my YouTube channel the next year. So I do have a video about that. I'll list it down below. But anyway, this is my first Halloween window I did. That was 2021. This is me working on it from the inside. That's why it's backwards. And then here's another part of the window, the ghost spiral, me drawing the ghost spiral. And then the next year I did something a little more elaborate, as you can see. And I did lights behind it and stuff. I went all out that year, but that was 2022. I have that filmed as well on my regular YouTube. This was 2023 Halloween. I did Black Cat Manor because I didn't want to do something Happy Halloween again. So that's what I did there. Now, you're gonna notice there isn't anything from last year. Well, this is another sliding door I did for Halloween, but there's nothing from last year because I didn't end up doing that. I failed. Last year was a big fail to begin with, like the most of last year. And I can probably talk about that sometime on this channel too, but not right now. And I kind of talked about it a bit on my other channel, but the short story is I got burned out in many ways. And it was prompted by something. Well, he's sleeping over there. My assistant Chaz, he's my cat. He is in most of my videos, especially the ones where I'm doing windows. I don't know, he's sleeping right now and he's older now, so I'm not sure how much he's gonna be in any of these videos, but he might be, you might see him. But I call him my assistant. He's always the employee of the month too. Do I have a picture of that I can show you? Because again, I don't want to add it to, hold on, I have a picture somewhere. But at my vendor events, I make a little sign for him. Where is it? Where's a good picture of it? Here we go. So he's my employee of the month. And he wins every month. I don't know if you can really see that on there. Employee of the month, Assistant Chaz. So I have that up at my booth as a conversation starter, and it works pretty well most of the time. But anyway, so he does assist me, which usually means he bothers me. That's how he assists me. He's kind of more of a supervisor, actually. I should have called him Supervisor Chaz, not assistant. But anyway, he has also, I guess I could show you this. Well, do I have those pictures here? I don't know. I have, let me see if I have this on here, or I could show you real quick. Because I do pictures in my booth, and I have a whole one of him on there. Let me see if I can zoom in on this one. Kinda. It's probably gonna be hard to see, but it's this one right here. And this is actually him helping with my Halloween signs. These three are from that first year, 2021, and this is from 2023. But you might not be able to see that very well, but I'll see if I can show you a different time if I talk more about that and have better pictures ready, available. Like I said, this Friday, October 17th is not going well, so I'm a little flustered, but it's my first video. Okay, give me a break. All right, on this channel, the way I'm doing this. Anyway, so I don't know if there's anything else I want to say intro-wise. Like I said, I think I said this. If I didn't, I'm gonna add it now. I want to do like minimal editing on these videos. That's why I'm showing you pictures, because I don't want to have to add things, and I just want to cut out stuff and then just upload it. Like I don't have to do anything to the videos, because that takes up a lot of my time. And especially having multiple channels like that, I can't even do it for one channel. So it's gonna be hard doing it for the other ones too. So anyway, let's talk about the window then. The Halloween window I'm doing this year. Yeah, I didn't do one last year. Where do I want to start? Okay, so last year what I planned on doing, and I got kind of a late, well, I usually get kind of a late start. This is relatively early actually that I'm starting this one, because I usually kind of rush right before trick or treat, and that's not until next weekend. So I got like a week where I technically could work on this, but I want to get it done soon. Because it's mainly for well, no, it's not mainly for trick or treat. It's mainly for my YouTube channel. Not really for trick or treat, because we don't have a lot of trick or treaters that come here. So it ends up not being really worth it in real life, but for my channel, it's worth it. And for demonstrating my skills and whatnot, it's worth it. So, and maybe someday, you know, there might be people like they purposely come to visit, because sometimes I post like, hey, I have this in like a community and no one cares, you know, but that's a whole other thing. I could talk about a lot of things on this video. I don't want to keep you here. We'll probably talk about this at some point as a topic, because I struggle to find people that actually like, there's people that say they appreciate what I do, you know, like at my vendor events and stuff, and then they don't end up following me in anywhere, like not my YouTube, not Facebook. Like my follower count doesn't go up after my events, even though there's people that are like, oh my god, this is beautiful, and I'm like, yeah, and I explain them, and then they take my card, and I'm like, yeah, I have a YouTube channel too, and I have, you know, Facebook and stuff, you should follow me. No one does. Well, occasionally someone does, but most people don't, and I don't get it, you know, now that I'm on this side of it, because I am like this. Like if I find especially a local person that I'm like, oh my god, your work is so beautiful and I appreciate what you do, I follow them right away. No one has to ask me, I do it. And I don't get the same in return, you know, because there's, again, I could go on tangents about this, but it's you know, the nature of the algorithm now, where you have to do everything viral, and if you're viral, then it's okay, and then everyone else likes this too, so I can like it too. Like people don't have their own individual agency anymore, you know. It's wearing away. Not that there was that much to begin with, but you know, there's all that. Again, I could go on a tangent about that too. I've already started, but let's stop. Let's do that some other time. What I was saying is, you know, other than having the video for my channel, there isn't really a reason to do it. So I was kind of feeling last year that I'm like, oh, should I even bother? You know, because I was already kind of in a slump. So I decided not to, like, giving up on it. And I also did, which I'm doing this year too, in a different way. Last year I had an event that I was doing, a trunk or treat that was put on by the city. And it's the city of New Berlin, Wisconsin, by the way, that's where I am. I did their like citywide trunk or treat event that they had at the local park, and they're not doing that this year. I'm doing a different one this year, actually. Next Friday, a week from today, I'm doing it's at a school / church, you know, that normally put those kind of things on, but I got invited to do that. Well, she was looking for businesses in the area, and I invited myself, basically. I contacted her, and she's like, okay, cool, you know, so I'm doing that. But anyway, so yeah, similar kind of thing. I'll talk more about that maybe later, but also in another video, because I'm going to be doing stuff preparing for that, so you'll see that in other videos. But last year, that I was kind of focusing more on that, and I was hoping I could connect with families in the area, you know, and advertise what I do. And again, people, this is a little different. People were kind of like, oh, that's amazing that you do, because I had like, I couldn't sell anything here, but I could advertise. So I had like, oh, I do window painting and all kinds of stuff like advertised. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's nice, that's interesting, you know, or they took a brochure, because I had brochures at the time. But, you know, especially at this event, and I understand this, there was a lot of younger kids, like families with younger kids, and the kids were kind of like excited because of the candy and like rushing from table to table, so they didn't really have time to spend with me to talk, you know. So that's why nothing came of that. So I was expecting more out of it, and nothing happened. So, and it's probably how this is going to go too, this next one. But I'm doing something a little different this year. I actually wanted to do something similar last year, but I didn't end up implementing it fully. I made the props for it. So I was going to do like a photo booth or a photo prop kind of thing. And last year, all I was going to do was hang like a decorative Halloween fabric and do, I made little, I don't think I have a picture of this that I can show you. I'll work on that for the next, when I talk about this more. But I made little props too that said like Happy Halloween, and I don't remember what they all said, but it was phrases about like Halloween stuff that kids could kind of use, and you could take a picture of your kid in their costume or whatever. I thought that would be a hit. So I didn't end up I brought it with me, but I ended up not setting up my backdrop thing that I was going to put up. But I brought the props with me. But again, everyone was kind of rushing through, so I didn't bother like asking, like, do you want to take a picture with my little sign, you know? So I'm going to try to purposely do that this time, where I'm actually making a backdrop that I'm going to paint and everything. And I think I'm doing that on foam insulation board. I might do it on plywood. I'm not sure which one yet. And I have to make like a stand for it and stuff, so you're going to see that on the channel again in an upcoming video soon. But that's what I was planning on last year, a little simpler version, but didn't end up working out. And it was just kind of like, again, people were kind of zipping by, so I was just giving out candy. And like, there were a couple other businesses in the area too that came up to me and tried to talk to me about stuff, which is another reason I wanted to do this, like connect with businesses, because I do window painting and murals and stuff like that, and signage. You know, I could possibly help out other businesses if they want to. And there were people from other businesses that, again, seemed interested but never contacted me. So it's probably what's going to happen, because again, this one is business related too. If you had a business, you could advertise at this event. That's kind of a similar thing going on here. So we'll see how this one goes. Maybe it'll be different. But again, either way, at least I have like the video of me painting the backdrop. Even if it's not useful in real life, it should be useful, but apparently it isn't. We'll see though for this one, it might be. But anyway, so that at least I have that. Like and it's something I can say I do. Like I make backdrops. Like right now I say I do them, but I haven't done one like this yet. This is my first time doing that, so wanted to for a while. But we'll see how this goes. We'll see. But anyway, so I didn't do my window last year, and what I was planning on doing was I decided I wanted to keep it more simple, and I ended up not doing it anyway. But if you remember, in 2023 I did the Black Cat Manor, the gate. So this was supposed to be like the inside of the gate, where there was going to be a house in the background over here on the inside of the window, and then on the outside I was going to have like a graveyard and make gravestones and stuff and write things on the gravestones, because again, I'm a lettering artist, so I'd like to incorporate that kind of stuff into my work. So I was going to do that, and I was thinking about doing that again this year, and I might still if I end up failing the thing that I want to do. But because I skipped it last year, otherwise I might do it like the next year or whatever. We'll see. We'll see how this year goes. But that's what I was planning on doing last year, and I ended up not even doing that. I'm like, never mind. I don't even remember if there was something like the day I was going to do it that something came up and I was like, never mind, I'm just going to forget it. Or if I just like got lazy. I don't remember what it was, but I ended up not doing it at all. So this year, what I'm planning on, like I said, I was thinking of doing that again because I didn't get to do it last year, and I might still do it if I can't quite do the thing I want to do. But what I want to do this year instead is something I've been thinking about doing, actually not on a window, but like as decorations, because sometimes I make signs, like chalkboard signs that go out there too. And I was thinking about doing this kind of thing on those chalkboards. Even 2022, that year that I did the big Halloween window with the lights and everything, I had some chalkboard signs out there, but I wanted to do things related to the theme that I'm doing with this. So what I'm gonna do is do kind of like the classic or what quintessential Halloween characters, like a werewolf and a vampire and a ghost and a witch and things like that, and have them all kind of, I'm gonna have speech bubbles above them on this window, again to incorporate my lettering, and they're gonna say something related to what they do, and it's gonna be kind of punny, like for the mummy, something about like I need to unwind or something like that or something like that. So yeah, mummy was one of them too. So that's I'm not sure if I'm doing exactly that, something like that probably, but for all the characters have something like that where they're saying something kind of funny or punny, like I said, or maybe something scary too. Maybe some of them will be a little scarier. But anyway, so I have a very large window here, as you see in the pictures when I showed you that this is the window I'm talking about. There's a big middle window, and then there's two small ones on the ends. So on the big one, I think I can fit 4 or 5 characters, and on each end I can probably do 2, and maybe like a third smaller character. Like I can do like a crow on like a branch, or like a cat, or maybe 2 cats, because again, I didn't mention this earlier on here, did I? I have assistant Chaz, who's my black cat, but I also had assistant Otto. She died actually in between. It was kind of shortly after the 2021, the first window I did before I had my channel. She was in that video though, a couple times, so, but anyway, she died a couple months after that, so she's been gone a few years now. So I might put her, because when I did the Black Cat Manor 2 years ago, 2023, I put both of my cats on there. I'm probably gonna do that again. Probably gonna do both the cats, and they're probably gonna say something too with their speech bubbles. So 2 main characters like on the window, and then maybe like a smaller one. And there maybe might be a smaller 1 or 2 on the middle window as well. We're gonna see how the speech bubbles fit. I'm gonna lay out things today, and hopefully paint the speech bubble. That's what I want to get done today, because I wanted to get more done, but one, I'm getting kind of a late start, but also, so yesterday, Thursday, October 16th, was the day I was going to start this, but and that's a day normally where I have the day to myself in the house, because my husband works sometimes from home, but sometimes he goes into the office, and he normally goes to the office on Thursdays, but he actually was sick yesterday, so he stayed home, and I didn't want to disturb him because our bedroom is close to the living room, which is where this window is, and I didn't want to wake him up because he was trying to sleep all day because he was sick. So I ended up not doing anything yesterday. So I'm like, well, maybe I can do most of it today, Friday, and then as I said, I've had quite a morning already. Like it's been a wonderful morning so far. It's what time is it? 9:45 right now. So I'm like, well, maybe I could still get most of it done. Well, then right before I started filming this, my dad texted me and he's like, hey, can I come over at 11? You know, I want to get some, he wants to do a few things around, like, he needs to come over for a reason. That's a long story. So, and we're going to go to lunch apparently too. So, yeah, not going to get much done today. So I need to get started soon so I can get the layout done. And then I do want to do the speech bubbles. So that's what you're going to see today, probably behind the scenes. If there's anything I need to explain. Otherwise, you're probably going to see a lot of time lapse of me working. I do have to get kind of ready. I'm not quite ready yet to start. So when I stop the video, I'm going to get my paint and stuff ready and my layout tools and stuff. So, but basically what I'm going to be doing is like putting circles where I want the faces of the characters to be on the window and deciding which character is going to be where, and then making the speech bubbles. Again, I'm hoping to paint those. I might end up not painting them and I'll just do the layout today because again, I'm running out of time. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything when I get back today because I'm going to go out to lunch. So this might end up being more on the next video, but you're going to see a little bit of the layout process here. So I wanted to do more on this video, but I also wanted to film a separate intro video on yesterday, but I couldn't do that either because my husband was sick. So this is going to be my intro / the very beginning of my window project. So anyway, I should probably get started. Let's get started. All right, anyways, this is the window. I have to clean the window first, so you're going to see that. Then I am going to just lay out the characters and decide which ones are going to be where and whatnot and which ones I'm doing. And then I'm going to lay out the speech bubbles, and I might, if I have time, because it's like 10 now, I have like an hour. With my luck, my dad's going to come early. I might be able to paint the ends because I want that painted on the inside, the speech bubble part, and then I'm going to put the actual speech on the outside. So I might outline it on the outside too, but anyway, so I might do that part today if I have time. I'm not sure. That'll be like an extra thing if I get that done. Otherwise, I'll start that with the next video. And this is really stretching it. Maybe I could do the words too, but I don't know exactly what I want everything to say yet. And I have to figure that out, so that's going to take time too. But I might do that portion after I get back, and I might film that for this video. Otherwise, it'll be on the next one. We'll see. But anyway, so, because I kind of decided to switch to this at the last minute, because I was going to do the gravestones up until yesterday. Well, maybe up until yesterday night, actually. I was going to do the gravestones, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the characters instead. You know, and I can't really draw characters. I'm not very good at that. So we're going to see how this goes. But anyway, you know me, you don't know me, do you? Well, you're going to know me. I like to push my limits, you know, and then I push myself too far. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to see if I actually get to painting. Otherwise, that'll be on the next video. But it's going to be very little if I do. Speech bubbles. But anyway, this is the window. Like I said, I have to clean, and then I'm going to do the layout. And luckily, with this layout, I don't have a lot of math to figure out, because usually I have to like figure out where everything is going to be centered and whatnot. Don't have to figure that out here. So, just going to wash the windows, both sides, because the last thing I had painted on here, and I still have a little remnant of it, was last year's holiday window, which I didn't really finish. I almost finished, but I never quite finished. I do have video footage. I didn't end up releasing the video on my main channel last year, so I'm probably going to release it this year around Christmas, maybe November. And then I'm going to be doing something else this year, hopefully. Hopefully I'll be painting business windows too, but we'll see about that. But anyway, that's why I have to clean, so I'm going to clean the windows first. You can't really tell from here, but they are dirty. I can still see remnants of the Christmas tree I had on this side. So, and it's both sides, actually, both sides of the window. Keep my screens out too, so I'll be doing that. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. I should probably get started on this. So I'm just using Dawn dish soap and water. Should be able to get the rest of it off with that. Otherwise, I do have window cleaner if I need I think Assistant Chaz wants to go outside, so he's gonna come out with me real quick while I finish cleaning the window. There's bird poop out there. It's been out there for, you know, a while, you know, on the concrete portion of our windowsill. So I'm gonna go clean that now because I didn't want to do that with my cloth. And it's not perfect either. There's still some smudges and stuff on there, but if it impedes my paint, I'll just clean it beforehand. So, but anyway, let's take him outside. Chazzy, why you eat that? Don't you want to do another Halloween window? No, you're just gonna run away, like they did a couple years ago, right? Huh? Taking advantage of Assistant Chaz again, making a Facebook post that's probably gonna go nowhere anyway, but you know. They're not in order. All right. I know. You're excited to get started, I know. All right, so now all right, so I'm going to use a chalk marker because it's a little more visible, but it's still easy to get off of when the time comes. So like I said, I want to do 2 on each side, and then I can probably fit 5 in the middle, and then 2 on that side, and then the speech bubbles above. Again, instead of saying Happy Halloween or something like that, because I did that the first 2 years, and I'm like, that's boring. Like, it's implied, okay? So I'm gonna do just the speech bubbles and not anything else. I mean, I guess I could have them hold something if I was really see, now I'm getting ideas, and I'm like, well, like a banner that says trick or treat or Happy Halloween or something. Do I want to do that? Yes, should I don't know. Well, anyway, all right, so going to be difficult to get cats in there practically because I'm not sure how they would, unless they're standing on someone's shoulder. I could do that. Again, making it more complicated, but because I don't want this to be like to their feet, I want it to be like their waist basically, and they're holding the banner if they're going to hold the banner. So having a cat, like, you know, just sitting there in the middle of the air doesn't make any sense. But anyway, room for the speech bubbles up here. And this is about the center here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Might even be too long. Go ahead. I want to erase that. I got a paper towel right here because I'm not prepared. Alright, let's try again. So then let's work on figuring out who's going to be where. So I have a mummy. I should probably write down my list somewhere with a pen. Can you still see me? I have a mummy, werewolf. Werewolf would make sense with a moon behind it somewhere. Witch, vampire, zombie. What else is there? Skeleton. 1, 2, 3. I need 9 main characters. I have 6. Alright, I have 6 out of 9 so far. Let's see. I was looking up stuff. What else is there? Ghost, right? Or ghoul. Ghost ghoul. 2 more main ones. Vampire. Witch. Should I make a clown? My husband doesn't like clowns. Should I make a clown? Should I? He's not gonna like that. I'm gonna put it down. We'll see if I replace it with something else. I need one more. How about like pumpkin head? It's actually what my mom used to call me, and she still does, pumpkin head. But remember, I have to think of things for these people to say too. People. Let's say I could maybe do the devil, but that might be pushing it too far. I mean, I have 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I keep the clown in. Alright, so I think I want the pumpkin head in the middle. I think I want the werewolf on one of the sides. You can't see, but I'm writing backwards on these. Witch, vampire, zombie. The ghost can be one of the smaller ones for sure. I think the witch with the werewolf. Our skeleton clown. It can be kind of short. So here's what I got. Ghost, zombie, vampire, mummy, pumpkin head, clown, skeleton, witch, werewolf. Yeah. So if I do the banner, obviously it's going to stretch past this too. They're going to hold ends over here. But I'll do the banner first before I do their stuff. Like their heads and stuff. I do the speech bubbles too. I have to think about what I want them to say. I'll do that later. Anyway, the banner, Happy Halloween will be here. Or whatever I have it say. And then they'll just get like an end. And they'll get an end over there. But I'm going to do that first before I do the characters. So my next steps are to figure out what they're all saying, paint the speech bubbles on the inside, and then I'm going to paint on the outside what they're saying, outline the speech bubbles, and then do the banner. And I can do some background for the banner too, we'll see. And then I'll probably put all their hands in to hold the banner. And then I'll do all their faces, which is going to be the hard part. So that'll be last. But anyway, that's what I had planned. I don't have much time today. I don't know, like I said, my dad might be early, so probably should wrap this up now. And then I'm not sure if anything else is going to be on this video. So if not, goodbye, thanks for watching, but otherwise I will add something in later if I work on it later today. Thanks for watching. Alright, it's kind of windy out here, but I just wanted to give a little taste of what I'm going to be doing here this year for the window, Halloween window 2025. I ended up not doing one last year, but I have some other ones from previous years that I've done. So what I'm doing is I have little, it's hard to see, but I have little circles here along the window. And they're all going to be characters from like classic Halloween kind of characters. Like this one's a werewolf. This one is a, let me see, I can see, witch. So werewolf and witch. And then I have a skeleton, clown, pumpkin head, mummy, vampire. And then this is, I can't see, zombie. That's backwards. Zombie and a ghost. I thought I was writing a Z backwards, but apparently I didn't actually do that. Anyway, my neighbor is mowing his lawn now, so I hope you can hear me. But these characters are going to be holding a banner that says, I think Happy Halloween. Otherwise, if I have something else they can say. And then they're all going to have speech or thought bubbles above their head. And they're all going to say something different or think something different. Like the zombie's probably going to be like brains or something like that. But we'll see. I haven't figured all that out yet. But anyway, that is the very start of my Halloween window this year.